Did you know that GRE test is widely accepted? It is accepted globally for most of the master's, PhD and MBA programs. It is basically a common assessment tool to compare applicant qualifications globally. In this video, I am going to be providing you insights on how the GRE score matters to bag a top global admit. Profile building. What's profile building all about? Have you heard about it? If not, you really need to stay tuned and watch this video. I'm Virudha Virkud. I'm a Texas A&M alumni who has over 20 plus years of experience, and I've guided 12,000 plus students to bag top global admits in universities like Carnegie Mellon, Columbia, Cornell, TU Delft in Netherlands, University of British Columbia in Canada, and National University of Singapore, to name a few. Admission decisions at global universities are very subjective in nature. What do you mean by this? Is GRE the only factor which really matters to your admit decisions? What are the other factors that would matter to your admit decision? Let's try and find out about these factors. Now, when global universities are looking at admit decisions, they are dividing these factors into two different categories: the quantitative aspects and the qualitative aspects. Now, when you look at the quantitative aspects, you have the GRE scores, you have your academic performance, and you also have the English proficiency test scores. Whereas on the other hand, if you're looking at the qualitative aspects, it talks about your entire profile, which includes certain projects that you would have taken part in, the internships that you would have done, and if you have any relevant work experience. Now, while assessing all these admission factors, what is important is that the sum of all these parts is more than the whole. You have all the room to compensate these factors. So if you have one factor which is not great, then you definitely have room for compensation in your admit decision. We'll try and find out this in a while in this video. But before that, one other aspect that you really need to remember here is that the way these factors matter to your admit decision also depends on the country that you're applying to. So if you're applying to US, then the universities there would definitely look at a holistic approach. They would look at a sum total of your academic performance, your GRE scores and your technical skills, all put together. Whereas when you're looking at countries like Canada and Europe, it is more academic centric and research oriented. On the other hand, when you're looking at countries like UK and Australia, then these are going to focus only on the language proficiency test. So what I wanted to draw your attention to here is that you will have enough room to compensate if you have one academic factor which is slightly on the weaker side, and try and balance it out by the other aspects. So for example, if you have your academics which are low, then you can balance it out with a good GRE score and good technical skills. To understand how these admission criteria fit into the global admit decisions, let's look at some of the success stories that I'm going to discuss today. I'm going to take a couple of examples of each type. In the first category, I'm going to discuss about success stories where students come from the tier 2 colleges but have a wonderful GRE score, and how this matters to their global admit. In the second category, I'm going to discuss about students who come from tier 1 college but have an average GRE score and how they have bagged top admit. So let's look at these couple of examples. In the first category, I'm going to talk about Sham and Ram. Now, when you look at Sham, he comes from the Anna University, but his GPA is 8.6. His GRE score is fantastic, which is 333 on a scale of 340, and the TOEFL is 116. He has bagged an admit in University of British Columbia in Canada for Masters in Data Science. Now, what has helped him bag this admit is his superlative GRE score. Now, let's look at the case of Ram. Ram comes from the University of Delhi, and he has a GPA of 8, whereas a GRE score of 325 and a TOEFL score of 112. He has gotten an admit in Cornell University, and what has helped him get this admit is his superlative GRE score. Going ahead, let's talk about a couple more examples of Jerry and Lucy. These are students who come from premium tier 1 colleges in India. Now, when you look at Jerry, he is coming from the University of NIT Hamirpur. He has got an admit in Masters in Chemical Engineering, and he's got into Cornell University. His profile looks something like this. He has around 300 and just about a GRE score of 309, a 99 in TOEFL, and a GPA of 7. So what we understand from this is that though he has an average GRE score, his university, his alma mater in India, the university that he comes from, has helped him gain that admit. Let's look at Lucy on the other hand. Lucy has got couple of admits in mechanical engineering in Michigan State University and TU Delft, Netherlands. The GPA of 7.7, a GRE score of around 314 and an IELTS score of 7. Now what has helped Lucy get these top admits is her university that she comes from in India, that is NIT Hamirpur. So now you see, when you look at these success stories, what we need to understand, what are the key takeaways here, is that one size does not fit all. What actually matters is the holistic approach, how you're going to be balancing these admission criteria, and then deciding on how you need to narrow down your universities and shortlist them and finalize them, and then sending the applications in the best presentable manner. If you need more tips on admission process, please share your comments below and stay tuned to our channel to watch more such interesting videos. If you need tips on more such topics on the application process, please leave your comments below and stay tuned to our channel.